And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truths and around real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax plans, PEO business, and much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals remain the same. We're going to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you. That's so we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Call or text anytime. That is an off-air number. You can reach us there. We've been getting an uptick in calls lately. We really appreciate that. People reaching out, want to find more about how they can get into a home, how they can stop being a renter and get into home ownership, improve their credit scores. Lots of ways we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want you to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, all the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on the show to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. And we got an intelligent lineup here. It's Intelligent Talk Radio. Fred Muth back in studio, a.k.a. the Tin Man.
Did you say intelligent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. You apologize. Okay, great. The Tin Man, not to be confused with?
Danny DeVito.
Thank you so much.
That's right. Tampa Screens and Aluminum
Tampa Screens
in
and
the
Aluminum.
house.
We are pumping iron in the aluminum business. I thought we could slow down a little bit by now. It's not happened yet.
Really?
Wow. No, it's not happened.
Let's keep it rolling.
That's a good thing.
Well,
That's a real good
it's
thing.
a good thing, but every now and then I'd like to watch some TV.
Oh, yeah.
No time for that.
Sunday afternoon. There you go.
Okay, you got it. Yeah.
Patrick Moraites in the house as well. PEO Advantage. Welcome back.
What's going on, Brandon? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man.
Happy to be here. Looking forward to talking today about work comp deductibles within a PEO and how we can get creative to get you approved. So sometimes a company may have some adverse claims history or some big losses, what's called a shock loss, and we can work with that and help get them coverage.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. By the way, we had some friends from Children's Cancer Center in last week.
I saw that.
We actually
that
had
episode.
Miss Florida in here.
Yeah.
Shayna, was it?
It was for
The Gelatin Plunge. GP, the Gelatin Plunge is coming up, gelatinplunge.com.
Oh, I hate that.
The June 15th.
Get you all dirty, man. Get you all dirty.
William Crowley in the house, too. William Crowley, the credit man, the credit magician.
It's a surprise visit, though. I was just coming to sit in.
Surprise
actually.
visit. Hey,
but
you
I'm the
threw me
man,
on.
baby. I'm the man. I'm here.
He's
I
the
got a
man.
nickname because you had a nickname. That's the only reason I got one.
And what's your nickname?
That's right.
Was a PEO Piper or
The
something like
PEO
that?
Piper, that's
Brandon,
right.
good
The
then. That's
PEO.
Brandon. I'm the credit magician on the radio.
Yeah.
And credit man,
Credit
in,
man
the
in the hood.
That's
There you
it.
go.
Credit man in the hood.
This is going to be a comical show today.
Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
We hit him with that
Bye,
one time.
Felicia.
There we go. So so the credit man's in the house, and we had to bring him in. He's in the studio. He's around the area. We said we got to have his expertise on the show here because we want to help you win. So interesting story here as well in our feel good segment of the day coming up. Woman in Jamaica returns ATM cash and gets rewarded $1.2 million for her honesty. That's in our feel good segment of the day. We're going to help you there. And also, this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. They do a great job with all their local or even a long-distance move across the country. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job, and they have the rankings online to show it as well, the reviews online as well. Google, they hold a 4.6 rating, 4.5 on Yelp, A rating from the Better Business Bureau and on Angie's List. And they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give them a call. Tell Gary Thacker, the owner, that you are a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and he's going to take great care of you here and that is our goal of the show, is to take care of all of our listeners, help you win in any marketplace. Couple of hot real estate listings here. 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. Gated community, golf course community. Golf course community is in high demand right now. Beautiful property, beautiful sidewalks. And check out the real estate photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks here at 12610 Port Monarch Drive. Gorgeous home, beautiful flooring on the inside, great floor plan, and it's got water views on the front and back of the property. And we got a hot property on the river in Tampa, 223 South River Hills Drive. Now this one is in Temple Terrace on the Hillsborough River, and it's 223 South River Hills Drive. Gorgeous property, stunning 5-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-family home on a conservation lot in Hillsborough County. Just a great opportunity here. Check out all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, back here in the studio, we're going to help you win. We got Fred Muth in the house. Let's jump right into it, Fred. So we got the 10-man here in the studio. We talk about, the ability to add.
What's so funny?
What are they doing over
I
there?
haven't said a word, and you guys are laughing.
I'm trying to host a radio show here, guys. So we
You got the wrong group here today.
Hey, you asked me to come on.
That's the Misfits, man.
This is like the Three Stooges.
There you go. So, Tampa Screens and Aluminum helping folks add value to their homes. Beautiful, that in-between space that we love here in Florida. And it's getting time for it. This is the time. It's still nice out. Humidity's still somewhat low.
Well, you talk about the time. It's also the time when people begin to worry about what's going to happen in the storm season. So here we are, the third week into May. And for the consumers, because I do get a lot of questions this time of the year and going through the season, what can I do to prepare for the this is the question. What do I do to prepare for the upcoming storm season? And it's fairly simple. You have to realize these cages are built very strong. I'm going to go look at a cage when I leave here, built with the house. The house was built in 1978. It's still there.
Nice.
Obviously, the customer wants to replace it because it's the old silver anodized, and it needs paint and this and that and the other. So he's going to replace it. But my point is, they last. However, if a little bit of maintenance doesn't hurt, people say, "What can I do?" And I'll mention number one. Clean the gutters. Okay, the gutters will fill with whatever. I don't know. I go to houses and I see. I don't know what's growing in the gutters. It could be marijuana. Needles. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, everything's growing in these gutters, and then it becomes.
I didn't know how it got there.
I have no idea. Yeah.
I don't know how it got there. It fell out of the sky.
Jeez, how'd that happen? Anyway,
yeah.
So clean, because as it breaks down, it turns into muck and mud and heavy, and that pulls on the fascia board, and the connection points are generally an area of failure in our business, where the cage hits the house, where it's connected to the fascia. If the fascia is soft wood or whatever, that's a problematic situation. If the bolts on the floor show some signs of wear and tear, rust, after 10 or 15 or 18 years, whatever, have them replaced, because I'll see a cage get blown away in the wind basically because it cut loose from the foundation or pulled away from the fascia board. These are all small
the
things.
bolts broke.
The bolts will, they'll break off, yes.
Yep.
So these are all minor things that every homeowner can do, unless you want to just let it go away and call me and I'll sell you a new one.
There you go.
Once again, humor.
Yeah.
The other thing is, the question is, people say, in the heavy winds, should I cut holes in my screens, X's, to allow the wind to penetrate?
Oh, yeah.
I say don't do that. I've seen the demonstrations where the fabric, in good condition, the fabric will stay in up to about 130 miles an hour, and then it's designed to go away.
Yeah.
Where the framework will stay there, but the fabric goes away.
Yeah.
So these are all things that the consumers, they really need to know.
Because those
going into
screens,
this.
they're held in, Fred. We're talking with Fred Muth, a.k.a. the 10-man here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
I don't know why he's laughing.
I love it.
The screens.
He's been into the gutter.
So the screens, Fred, they're held in by a piece of plastic. Is that right?
It's spline. No, it's rubber. It's a rubberized spline. It's called C spline, and it's shaped in the shape of a C. So it rolls in fairly well. In the old days, they had a round spline that had grooves on it, and that worked very well until they changed it was too hard to roll in, so they took the centers out and they made them hollow in the center, and they're real easy to roll in, and obviously they're real easy to blow out. So that doesn't work any longer. So the correct spline in today's world is what they call C-spline. It's shaped in the shape of a C, a half moon basically, and it rolls in, and you're not going to get that out. It's not going to blow out very easily.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's good stuff. So the other thing we talk about is, proper design. You're going in and designing these properly so that you don't have as much water runoff. You got to have the water that's going to be permeating the soil.
Right.
You got to check that.
That's a big concern, and they're looking more into that more and more. The counties and the city, and I can appreciate it. It throws a wrench in on the job. It will delay the permit process, and there's an equation that we have to follow at this point in the city of Tampa to make sure that we're not taking away too much percolation.
Right.
And even after we figure the equation, obviously you get that from the boundary survey, you submit it, and in some cases it does not fly by the city right away. There's more scrutiny that comes back to us regarding where the water's going to go, how it's going to flow. A lot of my competitors, they complain about it, and I can as well. However, I totally agree with the city trying to figure where this water is going to go. Being so low, and the more concrete that you pour in the city, hey, I'm going to send this water over to your house, and then you're going to pour a slab and send it over to that house, and then where's it going to go from there?
Exactly.
It's going to go into the ball field. Now they can't play ball anymore because the ball field's loaded with water all the time, and that's a true statement.
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting to see how that happens, and then also you hear, with the storm season coming up, the storms come up. All of a sudden, especially South Tampa, it's underwater fast.
That's underwater quick.
So fast.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And where's it going to go?
Right.
If it goes to the bay and the bay builds up, it's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's low tide.
Low tide, yes sir, yes sir. Low tide and no full moon.
Yeah, no full moon, no super moon either. Remember that last year? That was interesting. All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors when we come back. Fred Muth in the house, Patrick Moraites, and William Crowley here, and we have our feel-good story of the day. Woman in Jamaica returns ATM cash and gets rewarded $1.2 million for her honesty. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we are growing our team. We're looking for great agents that want to join our team. PlatinumMVPteam.com for more information. Helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, maximizing the exposure, maximizing the profits for all of our sellers. And check out PlatinumMVPteam.com. We would love to talk to you. This segment is brought to you by The Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill Restaurant. They've got a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and more. And it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. LuckyDillDeli.com. LuckyDillDeli.com. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, The Lucky Dill. Now, all you have to do is tell them that the quarterback sent you. What are they going to get, William?
Ice water with lemon, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Hook them up. They're going to take care of you. Just by mentioning that you're a fan. I mean, we got the connections everywhere.
There's no charge for the lemon.
All over the place. That's right.
The lemon is on the house.
Quarterback show.
California, you can't get that, right?
That's probably not.
Probably not, right? The water shortage. All right, so 10 man's in the house. We got PEO Piper, Patrick Moraites here as well. So PEO Advantage, workers' comp, we're coming up here. Let me tell you about a couple of hot listings I've got first. 11556 110th Terrace. This one is in a great neighborhood, block home, construction, and this is 110th Terrace in Largo. And just step out of your backyard onto the Pinellas Trail, one of Florida's most popular and unique urban pathways. Over 50 miles of biking, walking, and running trails. 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 2-car garage that has been closed into a master suite. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And we also have vacant land for sale. If you are a potential builder, entrepreneur, developer out there, 1401 Seminole Boulevard. This is a vacant lot. It's a corner lot, and you have some really good opportunities here at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. And the owner's motivated. It's a corner lot, vacant parcel, about 0.82 acres, almost a full acre, and 200 feet of frontage within the city of Largo. Zone commercial, ideal for medical, retail, restaurant, goods and services, and even office. So great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. All right, we got Patrick Moraites here in the studio. So PEO Piper helping folks, helping business owners, helping the business owners focus more on their business, what they're great at, and then outsourcing, some of the HR functions of their business.
Outsourcing the functions that they didn't get in the business to do in the first place. So it's helpful to give a little description. PEO doesn't really stand for anything of any relevance. Professional employer organization.
Yeah, exactly.
That really doesn't define the relationship well enough. Another industry term is co-employer or employee leasing.
Okay.
But ultimately, what happens in the relationship is that the PEO becomes the administrative employer, and the business owner is known as the worksite employer. So as the worksite employer, you handle everything you're already accustomed to doing: hiring, firing, training, disciplining, managing, recruiting. All those daily activities you already do. The PEO is going to administer all the back end functions that you don't want to do, administering the payroll, administering the workers' comp coverage, administering benefits, fighting your work comp claims, fighting your state unemployment claims, things like that. So paying your taxes, so your payroll taxes, your state unemployment, your federal unemployment, all that minutia of back office burdens.
Yeah.
they're gonna handle for you.
Yeah,
and take off
that's
your
right.
plate.
That's a good term for it. Back office burdens. I mean, it's really all it is.
It's ultimately what it is. It's not what people got in the business to do in the first place.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it helps. As a business owner, you get to a point where, hey, I'm scaling up. I brought on 12 people now. I've got 24 people. What's your magic number? What's your sweet spot?
So the industry average is 18 worksite employees.
Yeah.
We can help companies as small as 1, and then our largest client has 4,000. So it's really determining for you as the business owner what's most important for you to let go of.
Yeah.
And we help a lot of companies for a variety of reasons. It could be health driven. Some of what we're going to talk about today is work comp driven. You know, some organizations find themselves in that predicament where they've had what we call a shock loss, where an employee's gotten hurt and it's been catastrophic. You know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or potentially even a death. So now they're faced with, you know, not having coverage or having to go to what's called the JUA, or the Joint Underwriters Association, which is the state fund, in which case the cost of insurance is going to triple at minimum. So that could put them out of business.
Right.
You know, so a PEO can help insulate that type of rate increase because of the deductible they have with their carrier.
Right. Yeah, and you know, the idea of going to school, getting a degree, or not, you know, going right into business, but you know,
which I believe we're going to see more of that. We're going to see less people going to higher education and people going right into the workforce.
Yeah,
I believe.
But because of some of the social influencers that are saying don't go to college, or because the rising cost of college,
so I think the rising cost of college, one, and then what they're teaching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the, you know, if you look at the changes of the, you know, the overall, the college education, you know, how it's changed, how it's influenced, who's influenced it, why it's influenced it, and it's a lot of political behind the scenes of that. It really is. And I was listening to 1380 The Biz, I think it was, the other day. They had mentioned that we have a severe shortage of welders in the state of Florida. We need 4,000 welders. We're going to be shy, I think it was 400,000 welders by the year 2020. So that's for infrastructure.
You'll see
that's
more
for
skilled, you know, skilled workers is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
So a skilled worker meaning a welder, meaning a engineer,
electronics, stuff
electronics,
like that.
architects. Yeah, those types of people. Of course, we know nurses are in high demand.
Yeah.
You know, nurses and you know, assisted living facilities. You know, there's a lot of things. You know, when you look at the macro of where things are going, you know, the baby boomers are still aging, and it's kind of, you know, and then you look at the migration trends of people. Lots of people moving to Florida. We need help with our infrastructure.
Right. Without a doubt. And if you are someone that skips the higher education and goes right into business, that's where we do really well with startups. You know, PEOs are great for startups, and it's important to get that infrastructure in place right at the beginning.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about your payroll. You don't have to worry about your insurance coverage. Get that all out of the way so you can focus on driving that top line.
Yeah.
Because the magic word, or the magic 2 words, is cash flow.
Cash flow, baby.
He'll tell you.
Sales, cash flow. That's right.
You know, cash flow is king. So if you can stabilize your cash flow and make it predictable, so you know what your total burden is going to be, your cost per employee, that's extremely important, especially when you're getting into business.
Yeah. And also some of these changes, we've had employment lawyers on the show, we had immigration lawyers on the show, and these attorneys talk about if you don't have these documentations in proper order and they come in and they search your office, you are looking at some really big fines and potentially criminal charges. Is that right?
With the Department of Labor, especially with the I-9, you know, if certain portions of the I-9 are not complete, and if they're not accurate, the fine's like $1,100 per line.
Wow.
I mean, that's insane.
That's you know, that is almost to a point where it's punitive.
I-9,
it's like okay, I made a mistake. It's
right.
You know, it's to a point where it's almost punitive.
But what we also see more commonly in our business is, especially when you're dealing with new companies that don't necessarily want to W-2 people just yet, so you get into that game of I'm 1099 and everyone, and if the Department of Labor finds out you're skipping out on payroll taxes and federal unemployment, and then the state finds out you're skipping out on state unemployment, it's far cheaper to pay those percentage points than it is to get caught and have to pay fines, fees, assessment, penalties, and everything else.
Pay the percentage points as a W-2 employee.
Yeah.
So what's the line here, Patrick? That is a good point. Patrick Moraites, the PEO Piper here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. PEO Advantage. Brandon Rhymes, your host here, the real estate quarterback. Tell us about, okay, if I'm hiring somebody, what's a telltale time? What are they going to look at? They're going to say, okay, you're 1099 or you're W-2. Give me my top
so
5.
A couple of the checkpoints are, you know, are you telling them where to be and what time to be there?
Okay.
You know, that's usually a checkbox.
That's a controlling employer saying you got to be here at a certain time. Right. Okay, I got it.
You know, are they wearing a Platinum MVP Realty shirt and being told where to be?
Right.
You know, those are probably your 2 biggest triggers of that person probably should be W-2'd versus 1099.
Yeah.
You know?
And if they also have another job or other jobs, that could contrary that aforementioned point.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, if they're, depending upon the industry, it is, it is common. But I mean, you mentioned home health a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
A law went into place a couple years ago where, RNs that work for home health agencies, they can work for multiple, but they're required to be W-2'd.
Okay.
So they're not allowed to be 1099 anymore. So I think you'll even see, more of that down the road.
Got to be real careful. Got to protect yourself. If you're an employer out there, reach out. PEO Advantage. What's the website, Patrick?
www.peoadvantage.com.
PEOadvantage.com. And if you're watching our TV show version on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku, you can see the website here on the television screen. And Patrick Moraites, longtime friend of the program, and I've known him for a long time. He does a lot of charitable in the community as well. Children's Cancer Center, host a polo event, really cool stuff, getting involved with that. More from Patrick coming up, as well as Fred Muth in our lightning round. Next up, William Crowley, the credit man, the credit magician here in studio. We're going to help you win. Also, woman in Jamaica returns ATM cash and gets rewarded $1.2 million for her honesty. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in any marketplace, no matter what you're looking to do. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. Each one of those spokes extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our on-air expert contributors. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. So we'd love for you to engage with us. Multiple ways that you can engage. You can reach out if you're online, if you're on Instagram, at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. We've got the Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there on Facebook as well. And hit me up on LinkedIn. I love to connect with people on LinkedIn. And also our Consumer Advocate Hotline number, 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. That's our Consumer Advocate Hotline. Also, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors on our website at consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. Whether you're planning a quick business trip or maybe you want to add a little beachside pleasure to your family vacation, they have a great setup there. 2 pools on site. They've got the Sloppy Joe's restaurant and bar. Just a great place to hang out. Nightly music.
Place is awesome.
Gorgeous views.
Oh, man,
yeah.
that place is awesome. I stayed there recently. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah,
very cool.
Awesome.
Clyde Smith, the general manager, they have a great staff, just an awesome, friendly staff over there. And they do a great job at the Bilmar Beach Resort. That's our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, all you have to do is give them a call, let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're back here in studio. We got an all-star lineup for you today. Fred Muth's in the house. Tampa Screens in aluminum, more from the Tin Man coming up in our lightning round.
I love it.
We got Patrick Moraites, the PEO
He
Piper.
coined the phrase. He
That's
coined
right.
that phrase.
We did.
It's good. I'll take it. I
love
accept
it.
It's like the other one.
Yeah, man.
The in-between space.
That's right. The in-between space.
I use it all the time. Your screen enclosure is now the in-between space.
That's
Go ahead,
right.
your turn.
It's not inside. It's not outside. It's just that beautiful in-between space where you can enjoy your real estate. You know, we got Patrick Moraites in the house, the PEO Piper, PEOadvantage.com. William Crowley, the credit magician. Known on the radio. He's also known as the credit man in the hood.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I like.
All right.
Well, I'm so honored here today. I'm here with the Tin Man.
You are one funny guy. I got to
PEO Piper.
PEO Piper.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked Carnegie Hall? I think I saw you there.
Yeah.
Not yet?
Never, buddy. Never.
Not yet? Okay.
Hey, this is the only show I do right here. This is the only show that counts, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks, William.
Anyway,
we appreciate that.
What you want me to just go on in, or you want to ask me some questions?
Yeah, I mean, let's just start with what's like the number one question you get. Like, what's the overall, misnomer about credit? Because there's so many, it's so important in our lives. It's not just real estate anymore. It's jobs. It's medical. I mean, credit is such a major part. Insurance. I mean, so many ways that credit comes into play. What's one of the misnomers that you get all the time?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say people with bad credit aren't bad people, okay? Probably the majority of people in this room got bad credit except for Rick here. But listen, you're not bad folks, okay? And the biggest misconception I find is that people that do have glitches on their credit report, they don't necessarily have full-blown bad credit. They may just have a few glitches. But the point is, you know that in fact that it belongs to you, then how do we get it off? How do we get this stuff off if it does in fact belong to you? And that's the biggest misconception. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. And people say, well, it's mine. How can you get it off? Because we're going after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. We're not going after the lenders, okay? We know that it's your account with the lenders. The credit reporting agency, which is a third party, they have to verify this information before they put it on a credit report. They don't do that, okay? And since the consumers out there, that's what's so important about this show, is, the Consumer Quarterback Show, we want to show the consumer how to protect yourself, okay? The Fair Credit Reporting Act was put in place in 1970 to protect consumers against the abuses of the credit reporting agencies, which are just private companies, by the way. You might even want to go work for them, Piper. but anyway, so if we can just get the consumer to understand, look, the Fair Credit Reporting Act was created by Congress in 1970 so we can protect you. But you have to familiarize yourself with it. We talked about the school system earlier. It doesn't teach this, and all the consumer laws should be taught at least at the high school level.
Right.
Okay, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Uniform Commercial Code, all of this stuff. But it's not. And I think it's kind of strategic that they don't teach it, because I'd say the majority of the people in this country do have bad credit, the majority of them. And it's big business for the lenders out there.
Right.
Sometimes I think they would prefer a person with bad credit as opposed to a person with good credit. Because a person with good credit, it's going to be a low interest rate. A person with bad credit, boy, they're going to take you through the ringer.
They're going to pay some points.
Oh, yeah, points and everything. I mean, you're in real estate, and you see the back end and everything. So what I want to do is I want to get these consumers ahead of time. Like on this show here, we can talk about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We can show the consumer, look here, you don't have to have bad credit, okay? Use these laws to go after the credit reporting agency for violation of due process. Now, another question that comes to mind all the time is that collection accounts, okay? People need to really understand the difference between the original collector, which is an in-house collector, and an external collector, which is somebody just buys the debt and they're pretending like they're the company or they're a representative of the company, okay?
That's right.
So when I remove a collection off the credit report, okay, the collection agency still have the right to pursue the client for the debt. Now, it's a gray area there, but they have the right to pursue the client for the debt. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell them, okay, it's removed off the credit report. We're going to issue a validation of debt to the collector. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I got to cease and desist. I want to discontinue communication with the collector.
The collector, yeah.
But I tell people, no, we don't want to do that. We want to keep the lines of communication open with the collector, because this is somebody that's saying you owe them money. You, as a consumer, need to be knowledgeable enough to say, listen, I don't owe you this money, but I have to address this issue with you because you're under the impression that I owe you money. The collector buys the debt once it's charged off with the original creditor. When it's charged off with the original creditor, it releases all parties of any financial obligation to the debt. That means the consumer as well. Now, the lenders and everybody will argue with me day and night about this, okay? But I tell people, okay, if you don't believe me, let's just issue a validation of debt to the collector and let's see what they do. On the validation of debt letter, it says, show me the original note.
Right.
Show me the original note that you have that I did business with you. I did have the account at one time with the original creditor, Visa, MasterCard, or whomever, okay? This is unsecured debt, by the way. So I did owe it with them, but I was unable to pay. I had some, hardships in the family or whatever the case may be, and I wasn't able to pay it. So then, therefore, they charged it off. They got paid this way through the charge-off. And now you're the collector. You just bought the debt for pennies on the dollar, and you're trying to come after me and pretend like you're working directly for the original creditor. You're not. And I'm going to issue a validation of debt just to prove that you're not.
Right.
And this will keep you out of the courts and everything like that. So you're dealing with the debt. Most people ignore the collector. And we say, don't ignore the collector because this is somebody saying that you owe money.
Yeah.
So in addition to removing the negative information off the credit report, we're using the validation of debt to stop the collectors from trying to collect on this debt.
Let me ask you there. What percentage of people actually go through that process of asking for that validation of debt, sending that validation of debt?
I think maybe about 1% of the people.
Very low.
1%, you know. And that's why
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I never
something
heard of
very
that.
low. So then once they get that, the credit bureau is going to receive that. You got 3 major bureaus.
Yeah.
They're going to receive that, and they're going to say, "Wow, we're not going to go through all these hoops to try to prove that this person actually has that account. They're just going to take it off."
Right. See, but you want to go after credit reporting agency for violation of due process. The problem with that is that we should be able to get 100% satisfaction based on what we just said. But the credit reporting agencies are investigating themselves. So that's where the problems begin.
Wow.
Okay, so when I tell people next time you commit a crime, just tell the judge at the court, well, hey, listen, I'm going to investigate myself, and I'll get back with you with the results.
Yeah.
More than likely, they're going to be innocent, right?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. But that's the same thing with the credit reporting agencies. So what we do is we're persistent with them, and everything is transparent. So we're educating the consumer as to all the secrets of the credit industry, because our program, unlike your credit repair companies, we're credit restoration national credit restoration system. So we do this all 50 states. Hear that, Pete Piper? And in doing this, we can start to educate the consumer, not just collect their money and say we're doing it for you, but to educate the consumer on it, on the job training.
Absolutely.
I love it.
You got to do it, yeah. And for you as a citizen out there, a consumer, if you're going to be buying things, you're going to be looking at paying a higher rate on your auto loans, all types of situations where it's going to affect you. We kind of went through that list earlier. but especially we see it on the real estate side. We see it on the real estate game where, someone calls up on a buy sign or maybe internet lead. They call and they say, hey, I love this house. Can you jump up and show it to me? They want you to jump right away and just go show them the property because all of a sudden they had this whim that they might want to buy it, right? Right. So then you ask the question, okay, are you pre-approved? Are you paying cash? Let's get your pre-approved with our lender. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. And, I don't want to pull my credit. So that's another misnomer. That's a misnomer when it comes to pulling credit, right? I mean, if you're shopping for a mortgage, if you shop 2 or 3 different lenders, it seems like that should be okay because you're shopping for a mortgage.
Right. They say it's a window, about a 14 to 15 day window. Okay. When you're shopping of a similar like a car or home. Okay. Yeah. So they say that doesn't penalize you. That's supposedly that's what it's supposed to do. Okay. The credit reporting agencies are there to follow the law, Fair Credit Reporting Act. They're not doing it on that basis either. Yep. So what we do is we tell people, look, go to a free agency. Fair, can I list them on the show? Credit Karma, annualcreditreport.com, freecreditreport.com. Go ahead and get a snapshot view of your credit before you go out there in the industry and stop wasting the mortgage and the realtor's time by transforming them into credit repair people, okay? Right. They got you all, so they say, oh, we don't need to pull it. Yeah, you do need to pull your credit. Either you can be proactive and pull it yourself before you go see the realtor or the mortgage broker. Yep. And the scores are not accurate, but the content is fairly accurate, okay. On the free credit reports. Yep. So that's the thing. If they just pull it ahead of time, be a little bit proactive, it'll help the situation overall. So when we come back, let's offer your credit package. We're going to offer a credit package after the break here, free credit package for the first 3 listeners that call and text in. We're going to offer that, and then we're going to get our expert contributors' advice, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom in our lightning round, plus our feel-good story coming up. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. Ian Beck.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We launched a book, a company following that book with Ken Shamrock, the Ultimate Fighting Champion, legend, UFC Hall of Famer, Ken Shamrock. We launched the Business Growth Celebrity Academy. Check out bgca.co, and Business Growth Celebrity Academy helps you become a micro celebrity to grow wealth, build personal brand, and increase your status. Anyone can become a micro celebrity. It's easy, and we'll teach you how. bgca.co. All right, back here in studio helping you win a couple of hot property listings here. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team. This one is a gas station. Got commercial listings as well. 7424 4th Street North in St. Pete. This is a gas station. It's corner lot, convenience store. You've got the 3 service bays as well. So it's got light mechanical offered there at 7424 4th Street North, St. Petersburg. Great opportunity, great investment opportunity. Corner lot, lots of traffic going by every day. And it's got the food mart in there and, of course, gas stations and service bays. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 11540 Shipwatch is another condo that we have close to the beach. This one is right across the bridge from the beach, and it's a beautiful condo. Lots to do in this community. Tennis, pool, restaurants on site. Great opportunity here at 11540 Shipwatch Drive. It's unit 1391 in Largo. It's a great condo, waterfront opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75. Sunny and 95.
All right. Every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our Feel Good segment. So a woman in Jamaica returns ATM cash and gets rewarded $1.2 million for her honesty. So honesty paid off for a woman who returned millions of dollars that she found in a bag at an ATM in Kingston, Jamaica. Following on other corporate and personal donations to her, Jay Rye and Nephew Limited rewarded Akashan Green's honesty with a donation of $1.2 million. Now, in parentheses, it says $9,000 US. So a little bit difference in our currency there.
Currency exchange. Huge difference.
Yeah, huge. Following the other corporate and a donation, so of the amount of $1 million, she was designated for the education of Green and their 2 sons, while $100,000 was provided in vouchers for purchase of food. The remaining $100,000 has been set aside for an entrepreneurial venture and a refrigerator, which Green said is badly needed in her household. So Green told the Jamaica Loop that I wasn't expecting anything because the money wasn't mine. So to get all of this, many thanks, not only to you guys, but to everyone who has reached out, Jay Ray or Nephew or Heart Trust and the rest of the people and the pastor at the cathedral. I just want to say thanks. This will benefit a far away going back to school and seeing what I have several debts with the kids going to school. So there's the woman in Jamaica who found $1.2 million.
I guess the cost of living matches up though then, huh?
Right. Yeah, big difference. Yeah, big difference there. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good
I'm
at
so
lightning
good.
round.
I majored in lightning
Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. We're going to start over here with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
I'd like to echo on what we were talking about with William and financing. Now, in our industry, there's a lot of finance companies that come to us and they want me to offer financing to sell the enclosure. And they're very good companies. However, a lot of times I'll sit down with the homeowner and I'll disclose everything in there, as you do in a real estate transaction.
Right.
And by that time, they're apprehensive because there's a lot in there that's in the fine print. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I have, in many cases, I've walked the customer directly to their bank with my estimate, and they'll just get what I call a signature loan. It's an unsecured loan because they already had the banking relationship. 3 days later, they had the money and they signed the job up with me.
Nice.
Yeah, and I like to throw that out there to the consumers because you can always, in most cases, do a very good deal with your local bank.
Yeah.
You've got that relationship already there.
Yeah.
And you know, in any of our business transactions, everybody in the room should understand that. So I love the consumers to realize that is your best option.
Cool. Good stuff. Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Patrick Moraites, PEO Advantage.
All right. with respect to your workers' comp, if you're in that adverse situation where you have work comp claims frequency, or you've had that shock loss, or you're currently on the state fund or the JUA, we're a bridge for that to get you out of that situation, out of that circumstance, to help get you cleaned up like the profit repairman will do for your credit.
Yeah.
We'll get your work comp cleaned up to where you can navigate back towards the standard market if that's something that you choose to do in the future.
Okay.
So that's important distinction to know about PEOs. The way they're able to do that is because PEOs we work with have anywhere from $100,000 to, in some cases, a $2 million per claim deductible on the work comp policy. So they're able to provide discounts and buy it at a lower rate, and then provide the support, the risk management, the training, the safety training to help get you cleaned up and back on track. So that's a important tip for all the business owners out there to know where a PEO, an employee leasing company, can help you out with your risk management.
Risk management, I like that. Helping outsourcing your HR functions. William Crowley, the credit man.
Yeah, and so when I'm talking to people and on the show here, I think sometimes people get the wrong idea that I'm trying to encourage bad credit. No, we want you to become responsible, financially, fiscally responsible. At the same time, know your rights, okay? Because you could be throwing away a lot of money, just like the Tin Man was saying to Fred. Go down to your local bank. You have a good relationship there, because most of these industries, they're going to gouge you if you have any dings on your credit. They're going to make some money off of you.
Right.
But I don't frown on them. It's business.
Capitalism.
So, capitalism. So get your credit straight so you won't be taken advantage of. But if anybody's being taken advantage of, is you doing it to yourself. Yeah. Because you can clean up your credit and then start paying your debts on time.
That's right.
I'm adamant about that. Don't be some deadbeat out there, just not doing anything and expect to come to me to clean you up. I will do it though.
Take care of you though.
For the right price.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So we're going to offer that credit package. Don't let me forget to get that in. Right. Well, actually, let's go ahead and do it now since we're on topic. So for the first 3 listeners, if you want to have William Crowley send you his credit package, he's got a credit package that he'll put together for you. It's going to teach you how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off all that junk mail coming to your mailbox. It's going to teach you how to get an actual credit report every year for free, not one of these commercials where they're jumping around, strumming guitars, talking about giving you a credit card. They're also going to help you with an actual sit-down consultation as well. So the free credit package for the first 3 listeners who text the word credit to our consumer advocate hotline. Text credit to 813-670-7372. All you have to do is text the word credit to our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. And we're going to hook you up with that credit package, compliments of William Crowley, the credit magician.
He's texting it right there, over there.
Oh, no.
We got
calling it already.
There we go.
Already over there.
All right, so
in studio.
For my lightning round, what I want to do is talk about, I just taught some really cool negotiation strategies based on this book. Chris Voss is the author. Awesome. He's going to be on our show soon. But did you know that there's actually 3 types of yeses? Okay, there's a counterfeit yes, there's a confirmation yes, and there's a commitment yes. Okay, so when you're in sales, this is important, right? So a counterfeit yes, we've all heard it. It's kind of like you're rushing out the door, or, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, sure, yeah, no problem. Hey, would you donate to this? Would you do that? Yeah, sure, no problem. Just send me the email, right? So that's a counterfeit yes. It's fake, but a lot of times those counterfeit yeses are strategic. What they're doing is they're delaying for more information. They're just kind of stringing you along so they can try to figure out maybe some of your trade secrets. Maybe they want to know what you're doing that other companies aren't. Okay, so that's the counterfeit yes. You got to be able to spot these yeses. So 3 types of yes. Number 2, you got a confirmation yes. It's very innocent. It's reflexive. Yes, it's just a quick yes with no commitment to action. Okay, what we want as salespeople, we want that commitment yes. We want the one that says yes in a way that I'm going to sign the contract. I'm going to move forward with the deal. Now, what you want to do is also, once you get that commitment yes, you want to utilize the rule of 3. Okay, so the rule of 3 is where you reword what they just said back to you so that they repeat yes 3 different times. So you're going to just recommit them to that yes that they just gave you. So you might say something like, oh, well, we're looking forward to having you as a client. Would you have that contract into us by later today? Great. And then you might reword it again. Is there, we're so happy to have, you want to reword that 3 different ways, and that's the rule of 3. So those are 3 types of yeses. Be careful not to be fooled in and accepting a cheap counterfeit yes or even a confirmation yes. You want the commitment yes. That's what you want. All right, so good stuff here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fred Muth, the Tin Man, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
Can we go another hour? We had such a good time.
We had so much
Come
fun.
on,
We should just tell them.
We can do another
let's
hour.
Let's just bump to the 6 o'clock show today and put us there. We should just roll us over.
I don't know if everyone can handle another full hour of the credit.
No, they can.
They can. They can do it. They really could. So shout out to all of our expert contributors here in studio, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, PEO Advantage, and William Crowley, the Credit Magician. Thanks so much. Of course, to all of our listeners, our viewers out there, our team behind the scenes putting the show together, all of our producers, we really appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Real Estate Quarterback Show, Consumer Quarterback Show pages as well, and hit us up on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn, Brandon Rhymes PA. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.